Good morning, Facebook family and friends. Today is Monday. It is January 15th, the year is 2018. Today is Martin Luther King's national holiday, his birthday. And I'm sitting here watching the ceremony they have every year in Atlanta at Ebenezer Baptist Church, a church I've never ever stepped foot into in my entire life. I'm watching the service, and every year I always wonder the same thing. This is the 50th anniversary of Dr. Martin Luther King's death, and the 50th memorial. They've had 50 years. I'm 47. I'll be 48 in a few weeks. So in 50 years, the question keeps coming to my mind. What? Now, don't get me wrong. Let me rephrase this. In the 50 years since Dr. Martin Luther King's death in 1968, if I got that right, what has improved for blacks? What improvements did Dr. Martin Luther King's dream and the civil rights movement do for African Americans or black Americans that live in this country? Our neighborhoods are still just as segregated. Our schools are still just as horrible. Our incomes are still just as bad. Our families have been destroyed. Where are we? I keep asking myself. See, I know how we got here. Dr. Martin Luther King made a mistake. He put his faith in Jesus. That's what they keep screaming on this program. I'm watching. Y'all can hear it in the background. Hey, praising Jesus. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. He put his faith in Jesus and his faith in his religion. And he said, I'm going to take a chance here. And I'm going to take my black people. And God's going to make this right for us. That's what he bet. When he went for desegregation of schools, when he fought for desegregation of schools, I understand on paper it sounded great. Blacks would be given the same opportunities, the same education as their white counterparts, but it did not happen. And it's not happening, regardless of what anybody says. You look around you and wake up, niggas. Y'all don't want to wake up. Y'all too busy praising Jesus. Jesus! But we doomed. And that's the reason why. Putting your faith in a false religion that has done nothing for you. But y'all keep praising him. And searching for him. And screaming for Jesus. But guess what you're getting out of the deal? In the long term, guess what y'all getting out of this? Nothing. Like I said, our schools are just neighborhoods are bad, schools bad. We still blacks and whites are more segregated than ever. You know what's interesting about this? I'm using an Apple computer to make these videos. We're in an era now where you have companies like Apple, Google, IBM for some. You get all these companies that are massive conglomerates today in the computers, in telephone, the cell phone industry, new technology, I'll just say. How many black folks work for these companies? I've heard the stories about Google, Apple, Uber, and all these internet-based companies who have a very small percentage of blacks working in corporate headquarters. They've kept us out. We've gone into a new era, but we have not been able to participate in this. You got all these amazing companies, very few blacks in major roles with these companies. Why are our incomes not increasing? It's 2017. Do you mean to say we don't have black educated people who could work at these companies and work in because they don't want us there? And they've worked hard to keep us out of there. But see, we live in a world where we think everything's going to work out just fine and God's going to swoop in and Jesus is going to come save the day. He ain't saved shit yet. Until black people walk away from their religious beliefs that were given to them by their slave masters centuries ago, we'll never be able to move forward. My mother sits over there and do more videos. My mother tomorrow. She loves Jesus. She prays Jesus from sun up to sundown until them bills come due. Then it's a different story. Then she's over here now asking Walter. So I don't believe in this Jesus mess, and I don't believe in any religion, period. None of them, they're all false. And if you put your false hope into this religion, in the hopes it's going to come save you today, you're going to be in for one hell of a surprise. And this is why black folks are in the position we're in now. We won't walk away from this mess. Dr. Martin Luther King made a fatal error in judgment. He put his faith in Jesus. He thought that God and Jesus or whatever would come and correct these issues, and if it had been corrected in centuries. Dr. Martin Luther King sold us out for his own religious beliefs. He thought that this would be better for black folks. Segregation, desegregation, for the most part, has destroyed black communities. Like I said, we're still just as segregated as ever. Blacks live on one part of town, whites in the... If you do see blacks and whites living in certain areas, because one person's leaving, either the white folks are running or the black folks are being forced out. So they're not coming together in a happy community. You stick around and keep watching those communities, it's going to either turn all white or it's going to turn all black. It's not going to be a mixture. Nowhere in America. Nowhere in America. So you have to sit back and say, okay, what did we get out of this deal? I tell you what we got out of it, a lot of poverty. Blacks are still just as mired in poverty in 2018 as they were 50 years ago. Don't you niggas get it? 50 years ago, 50 years have passed, and we still got 50 to 60% of black folks, black children, black Americans living in poverty. Nothing has changed. Nothing. So you got a few black folks who got nice houses, nice cars, and live a good life sort of on paper. But the vast majority of black Americans are suffering. And it is a direct result of their religious beliefs. You drive through black neighborhoods, you got a church on every corner doing nothing for our communities. Oh yeah, they might feed the hungry every now and then, do a clothing drive. But they're not educating us. Moving black folks forward. Correcting the problems with black families. Correcting the problems with our community as a whole. None of this is happening. But we still keep screaming at Jesus. I'm looking at this program and it made me sick to my stomach to sit there. That's why I've never stepped foot in even Ebenezer Baptist churches in the 30 years I've lived in Atlanta. I don't have time for this religious mess. Because I see the damage it has done to us. And it's kept us down. Dumb. Stupid. Now you have religion on top of racism, on top of ignorance, lack of education. You got all this stuff that's holding us down. Some of this stuff we got to walk away from. Got to start with religion. This false faith belief in this Jesus character is going to come and save your tree. Somebody told me to make the statement, why don't you have a Christmas tree behind you? Yeah, my Christmas tree is not, Christmas has always been a pagan holiday, whether y'all know it or not. This tree ain't got nothing to do with Christ. But y'all don't know that. This is just a pagan holiday thing. It's no different than a celebration of 4th of July or something. It's just a pretty tree. We decorate and go about our damn business. And we don't celebrate Christmas the way I don't celebrate Christmas the way the vast majority of black Americans do, praising their Savior and God, Jesus Christ. What a waste of time and breath. But listen, you all can hear it. I don't know if y'all can hear it. Right? Every year I watch this program, and I keep thinking, when will we wake up? When will black people wake up and walk away from all this false mess that religion has mired and stuck our brains into? When? Like I said, I'll be doing more videos with my mother tomorrow. I like having conversations with her because we have different viewpoints and we get along fine, but her religious beliefs have harmed her family and her children, and she cannot see it for some odd reason. She just really doesn't want to accept the fact that her religious beliefs destroyed her marriage, destroyed her children, destroyed her grandchildren. She won't get this mess up. She won't. She doesn't see how destructive it's been, and it has been very destructive. She won't accept it. She destroyed everything around her, but she still praising Jesus. Jesus is going to fix it all. Jesus ain't did shit because he doesn't exist. And if you sit around waiting for Jesus to come and correct your problems, you all got some serious mental issues to deal with. But y'all waiting. And I'm listening to this program in here. They screaming at Jesus, screaming at Jesus, screaming at Jesus. I'm like, okay, they still don't get it. They don't get it. Black folks remain mired in poverty. 50 years past his death. Like I said, we're in a new era now. New technology, computers, internet. You would think blacks would be sailing off into the sunset, riding a wave on top of success on top of this. But we're not. You have to wonder why. Why are we still dealing with so many issues like horrible schools, neighborhoods in despair? You drive out through these neighborhoods in these black areas, you can barely find a restaurant to eat at unless you go eat some Chinese food or some chicken wings or some fried fish. No really decent vegetables or nothing to eat. I drive these areas and say, can you get a salad to eat? You can't. You drive over to the white area. And then they closed these Sam Clubs down recently in these black neighborhoods. They shut all them down. I mean, it's odd. But we praising Jesus. He gonna come fix everything. One of my friends who lives in Memphis, he said, well, so they closed the Sam's Club and that was the only decent grocery store we had in the area. There was nothing else for miles. Nothing. We don't care about you people. We never have. And that's the problem. We have all this. In Africa, there was in South Africa, somewhere in Africa, I think South Africa, some protesters went into H&M stores and dismantled the stores and knocked the clothing and stuff down because they don't like a racist picture, which should never have been published, period. You have to wonder, what were they thinking when they published this picture with this little black kid in this outfit talking about he was the cutest monkey or somebody being a monkey? What were they thinking? They didn't give a shit. Somebody had to have looked at that picture and said, something's not right with this. Why? But black folks immediately looked at it and said, okay, something is terribly wrong with this. White folks didn't see it. Were they in a different country? Are they from Mars? Do you not understand? But that t-shirt was racist. I have a lot of respect for those Africans who went into those stores in Africa and dismantled those H&M stores because H&M was dead wrong for that. And they should pay a price for this. Even if it means destroying their stores, I'm all for it. See, that whole peace and happiness thing that Dr. Martin Luther King pushed across America, nonviolent movement, really didn't do us very much good, didn't do us any good at all. Because we're still stuck where we were. Oh yeah, you can walk into a restaurant and you can now eat, and you don't have to worry about the white section and the black section. Even though you're on the black side of town, you got to go to the white side of town to enjoy a decent meal. Because you don't have any decent restaurants on your side of town. So all the blacks who want decent food and all this stuff, they pack up and leave. So you only get people who eat this fried fish, Chinese food, and all this horrible chicken wings and stuff. People who stuck, who can't get over to the decent areas to get some decent food, to get a nice salad. But we praising Jesus. But we stuck. I look at my family members with all these children that they done brought into this world in faith. Faith. Not a job or income. They went out and had these children just based on the simple faith that things will get better. That their lives would improve. That they would find a job and an income. But you got this baby. You have this child now. How do you feed this child? Clothes, house, how? Why aren't you all married? Why would you have children by so many different people? There's some problems here that have gotten worse since Dr. Martin Luther King's death. The desegregation destroyed a lot of pride in the black community. And it took a lot of resources out of our community. Areas that were once thriving have never been the same since. And they won't. You go down to Auburn Avenue, they've been trying to rebuild Auburn Avenue in I've been for 30 years. They've been trying to do so much down in the urban areas to try to reinvent the area to make it grow, and it's just hasn't moved an inch. But you go up to Buckhead, and you drive through Midtown. There's growth as far as the eyes can see. Buildings being built everywhere. High rises of construction. But you went down the south side of town, ain't nothing going on down there but the rent. They're not building anything down there. The south side of town is terrible. The only areas that are going through improvement are areas where white Americans are coming back into the old Fourth Ward has been revitalized. It's changed. It's a completely different community. I drive through there in shock. Only because the white folks and their money came in there. Areas that are still predominantly black, still predominantly bad off. But we're still screaming to Jesus. We're still waiting for some invisible savior to come save our lives. We've not invested in education. We've not invested in our communities. We've not said, we need to shop at this store in our community that's owned by somebody that's part of our community. We won't do that. We don't get it. Because education is key. Dr. Martin, the worst mistake the civil rights movement made and Dr. Martin Luther King was they took these children, how precious those children's minds, and they put it in white Americans' hands to educate them. How's that working out for us? You take the most precious resource we got, young African American children, you force them into these schools, talking about desegregating them, hoping that these white people, administrators who run these school systems, will give your children a good education. You know, it's funny because in Atlanta, Georgia, DeKalb County Schools used to be one of the top school districts in the nation. I live in the city of Atlanta, but I'm right inside the border of DeKalb County. DeKalb County Schools used to be one of the, until African Americans moved in large numbers in the early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. DeKalb County Schools have suffered ever since. Whose fault is this? What happened? How could these schools, because the whites, once again, took their resources and fled. Stone Mountain went through white flight. Parts of South DeKalb County, the whites packed up their mess and hid it. They left a lot of they left a trail of despair in their wake. So I'm just trying to figure this all out. I mean, I'm serious. I'm just trying to understand that 50 years past Dr. Martin Luther King's death, have things improved for us? 50 years after his death, have we gotten any better? Have we resolved any of these issues? Has life got better for any of us? Has it? Some people are doing okay. I guess me and Earl are doing okay. I mean, we got a Christmas tree up there. We got new cars parked in the drive, but they ain't paid for. I wish they would. They could be paid. I guess I'd write a check and pay for them. I don't know. I'm just trying to figure it all out. But we celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's death and the anniversary of his death every year. And every year, the situation for blacks gets worse. Every year, it has not improved. Every year it gets worse. Worse. Worse! Are we blind? Do we not see it? Do we not know what's going on? I don't know. You know, I want to be optimistic that things will improve, but in 50 years, they've gotten worse. Worse. Don't y'all see it? Am I maybe the only person that sees it? Do y'all realize that in 2018 that we have a homeless crisis nationwide? This year started off 2018 with the most homeless group of people in America on planet Earth. The largest group of homeless people on planet Earth are Americans in the United States in 2018, this year. Got off to a bad start already, but people don't see it. They don't understand it until they end up homeless. They don't see what's going on. They don't get it. I just have to wonder. Yeah, I forgot to put my doggone coffee on, but it's okay. I'm going to get some breakfast any damn way. You just have to wonder how can you change this? Well, first thing you got to do is we got to stop believing in this Jesus mess, because he's not going to come and save us from anything. We got to stop this nonsense. All this praising Jesus on this TV going on in here, that needs to cease. We need to start embracing education. Ebenezer Baptist Church, I've never stepped foot into it, but it'd be nice to know that that place can be turned into a place of education or turned into a school. Then I would support it. It's a massive building. Place of worship. Let's make it into a place of education. Place where people can come in and learn a trade or an education that they can use to feed their family. Right now, we don't have that. We don't have trade schools or vocational schools anymore. You go, like I said, you drive these black neighborhoods, you see a church on every corner. Every corner, they're praising Jesus. But we've never been so worse off than ever. Dr. Martin Luther King's dream is a nightmare for the vast majority of Americans. It didn't work for black Americans. These white folks having a damn good time out there. You better believe that, but they've always enjoyed it. They've always enjoyed it. You go from having a brilliant, intelligent president like Barack Obama to look who them white folks stuck in that office now. Look who they put in there. You go from having this intelligent black American who was fighting for everyone to be free, to have a decent life. You go to a man who is probably one of the most racist white guys we've encountered in years in the White House. There he sits. How did he get there? Y'all know how he got there. Them racist white folks stuck his behind in there, but we don't acknowledge that. We don't want, God forbid, that we acknowledge the racism that still persists in this country. It hasn't gone any place. In the 50 years of Dr. Martin Luther King's death, things have not improved for black folks. Maybe on the surface. Like I said, you don't have segregated restaurants. You got the whites. You don't have to walk into the movie theater or a hotel from the rear. You can walk through the front door. But other issues of poverty, income disparities, educational disparities, job, wealth inequality, everything's out of whack. And it's getting worse. But who am I? I'm just some fool over here on the internet talking a bunch of nonsense. People don't want to hear this message. They're going to still be praising Jesus. Praising Jesus. Oh, praise Jesus. If you like my videos, click like. Share them with family. I do these videos, I want to educate us and change us. I get a lot of flack from a lot of people who don't like who don't like what I have to say. I've been criticized for all kinds of stuff. But I'm going to tell it like I see it. I'm not stupid. I'm not ignorant. I see what's going on out in these streets in our communities. In the 50 years since Dr. Martin Luther King's death, for the vast majority of blacks, this might as well be 1968 instead of 2018. Some of us see it. Some of us don't want to see it. I don't know what to say. I don't know how you can change this. I don't know if it can ever be changed. Maybe not in my lifetime. Like I'll be 48 in a few weeks. Who knows? Anyway, I'm about to go get me some breakfast on Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm going to get me some sausage, eggs, and pancakes from somebody's restaurant. I need to be cooking here at this house. But I want to get out of here. I've been stuck. I'm going to tell you I went out to the club last night. Tell you about my adventures on Dr. Martin Luther King's weekend at the club. I'm going to do that in separate videos. Again, if you like my videos, click like, share them with family and friends. I'm out of here. Enjoy this Monday today. It is Monday, January the 15th. The year is 2018. Y'all going back to praising Jesus. Good luck with that. I'm out of here. Bye.